This is Justin Case of American Newscape. Please join Jeff Griffin, transformational speaker, and myself. Jeff joins us today offering Get Out and Dance. Hello, Jeff. Welcome to American Newscape.
Justin, I'm back.
You're
How
back.
about that, man? Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for coming back, Jeff. Hey, please get us started in your book, The I'm Possible. You shared some tools for getting off the couch and just getting out there and dance.
Absolutely. In fact, what I want to do too is I want to give your listeners a gift here. I want them to have my book. I want them to read my book. I really do believe that it will help with the P squared mindset. It will help with the ability to expand your circle of certainty. And that's another discussion for another time, the circle of certainty. But we really do have the power and potential inside of us to accomplish our dreams and desires. We really do have those abilities to get out there and accomplish what we truly want to do, what a lot of people call success. Now, success will look different for each individual, and so many people think that the opposite of success is failure, but I think the opposite of success is to quit, to not even try. And so what I love to do is just, again, offer your listeners my book, I'm Possible, Desire, Dream, Do, which goes into the 3Ds there, I believe, are at the foundation of every solution, Superman solutions. And I believe that every problem under the sun has a solution or has none. If there be one, hurry and find it. If there be none, never mind it. And so often we talk so much about the challenges and problems in our lives that we don't look at the successes in our lives. And because of that, we just kind of stand on the sidelines. We kind of stand on the sidelines of the dance floor. We listen to the music. We're there. We're feeling it. We're experiencing it. We're watching other people experience it. And we maybe give ourselves excuses like, I'm not a dancer, or I don't do this. Whatever it is, we're very, very good at making excuses. And so don't make an excuse anymore. Get out there, get my book. Go to griffinmotivation.com. Go to the shop, get you a book. It's if you use the coupon code LOVE, knock off 50%. If not, full price, man. I'm telling you right now, the book is going to help you, and it's going to be enjoyable. It's going to be interesting. It's going to inspire you, whether you pay $10 or $20. And I'm telling you, go out there and get that, and it's going to help explain some of these things, because this the last chapter, or I call them mile markers, is a little bit about dance. There really is a happily ever after, and I'd love to get in and share a few things with you.
Well, a few answers is worth a lot more than $20, Jeff.
I'm telling you, we're going to help you here, because if you think about it, what are the steps to success? Right? We talked about every problem under the sun has a solution, or there has none. If there be one, hurry and find it. If there be one, never mind it. I got that all mixed up. My dyslexia is coming into play here. People are kind of getting a glimpse into my soul here. I'm like Forrest Gump. I am not a smart man, but I've learned that with this possibility principle that you can have this wealth for free. It helps expand your mind. It helps expand that circle of certainty, and will help you achieve your dreams and desires. And it will help you go from believing that it's impossible to, you know what, now I believe that I can do it. And it will help you along the journey, along the way. But I don't know if you've experienced this before or not, Justin, but most people don't know what they want, but the majority of us know what we don't want. Okay. And so we're like, okay, well, I don't know what I want, but I do know what I don't want. I don't want to dance, right? It's kind of ironic. We're talking about this topic that I hated as a young man, and I still kind of do now. I'm a little bit better with it. You can go on and Google and search some things and use some moves here. I'm in one of those big old giant circles, and somebody's kind of pushed me out there into the circle. But at the beginning, I hated to dance. But the P squared mindset helps you learn how to do things that you don't like, but you want. And as a young man, I didn't like to dance, but I did like the girls, and the girls loved to dance, and they went to the dances. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to go where the ladies are. And so I went there to the dance floor, and I'm on the side, and I'm like one of those wallflowers, and the music's, getting me to move my feet a little bit, tap my feet. And then this girl comes up and asks me to dance. And I'm like, oh, I don't dance. I come up with all these excuses. I want to dance, but I'm like, I don't dance. And she, fortunately for me, she just grabbed me, pulled me out to the dance floor. And I'm like, okay, so what do I do? She's like, well, this is what you do. You just move back and forth, put one leg out, and then match it with the other leg, and you're going back and forth. I'm starting to dance, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, whatever this is, I feel stupid, I feel dumb, but you smell good and you look good.
Fake it till you make it.
Uh, and so things are starting to get better the more I do it. And that which we persist in doing becomes easier for us to do, and that's part of the P squared mindset. That's part of the possibility principle. And by the way, we have the banner here. If you guys will text possible to the number on your screen, we will send you the free PDF, and I'll invite you to do this simple activity for 21 days. And I'm not going to ruin it, but just go ahead and get that PDF and do it, and understand and learn what this possibility principle is all about. This P squared mindset that you can begin to develop. I didn't realize it at the time, but that's what I was doing. I was just practicing this very principle. That which we persist in doing becomes easier for us to do. And so I got onto the dance floor, started to do better, started to be more courageous. The more we do things, the more confidence we get. And then there was one time that I went to a college dance, and this was before my accident. And me and my buddies saw a group of girls. I'm like, all right, guys, let's go. And a lot of times I'm the wingman, but this time I was like the front man. I'm all right, guys. I want you to be my wingman. Let's go ask these girls if they want to dance, and not just dance, but go get some shakes and some other things afterwards. And like, all right, let's do this. And so I got the courage to go to them. And 10 feet into this, I turn back, and they're not there. They are not there with me. And so I have a split-second decision to make. I'm like, I can either run back to them, or I can go forward with courage and forward with faith. And I'm like, absolutely, I'm going to go, because both faith and doubt are based in the unknown. And you can go forward with doubt, or you can go forward with faith. And I'm like, I'm going for it. And so it was victorious. And the reason why I share this with you, Justin, is because if your listeners don't know, I'm in a wheelchair. I was paralyzed from the waist down. I played football in college, and a construction accident left me paralyzed from the waist down. And I remember my life just being taken away from me, my identity. And I didn't like to dance to begin with when I was on my feet. Now I was invited to go to a dance in a wheelchair. And all these things started to pop into my mind about the unknown. No one would want to dance with a guy in a wheelchair. No one will want to dance with a guy in a wheelchair because he's in a wheelchair, and it's different than going side to side, back and forth, or a slow dance, right? How can I put my arms around her waist, and how can she put her around my neck, and us move with the music? And I was coming up with all these excuses. No one would want to dance with a guy in a wheelchair, because in my mind, I wouldn't want to dance with a person in a wheelchair. And again, going back to, we base our possibilities, other people's possibilities, on our limitations. We reject what we don't understand, and we base our possibilities on what we know. And so, again, what we need to do here is we need to practice cultivating that P squared mindset. And this book, I'm Possible, will kind of help you expand your vision a little bit with that as well. And so I was invited to get on the dance floor, just like I'm inviting you to get on the dance floor. Now, this may not be the dance floor that I've been talking about, right? Where the music is pounding and your heart's beating, and there's other people, there's that you're trying to go and I wouldn't say attack. Attack's the wrong word, but you go and become a victor of going, finding somebody and asking them to dance and getting out on the dance floor. And I was asked to get on the dance, to go to this dance. And some of us right now in our current circumstances um, have had some things happen to us that we're not familiar with. We've had some things where the music might have been taken away, the music that we've been listening to, the rhythm and the dance that we've been following lately has been wiped out from underneath us. And we might be feeling paralyzed a little bit, where we don't want to get back on the dance floor. We haven't been on the dance floor for a long, long time. And so if I can finish this thought here, right? Because a lot of us sit back and we're like, you know what? I'm not going to do anything until I know that it works. Success has a 3-part series. You got to know what you want, you got to finish what you start, and you got to celebrate the process. And so it's those 3 things. But the problem is most of us don't know what we want. But the majority of us know what we don't want. But the problem is as soon as we start focusing on what we don't want, we start to get what we don't want. Whatever we focus on is what we get. Whatever we feed grows. And so, of course, we need to know what we want. And so part of this book kind of helps you in that process. Dream weaving is one of those techniques that you can do that. And I believe we've talked about that in the past, and you can go back and look at that if we have. But I'm telling you, 10 minutes will change your life. If you don't know what you want, all this stuff that I'm giving to you, it doesn't matter. Because if you don't know what you want, then all this stuff doesn't matter. But if you do know what you want, we've got some tools to help you finish what you start. Because how often have you started something and you didn't complete it? And of course, celebrating the process. And so speaking of celebrating the process, Justin, I finally dragged myself, well, my friends dragged me to the dance. And I remember rolling into the dance floor this very, very first time. Now, again, both doubt and faith are based in the unknown. And so we're like, okay, I don't know what's happening here. I don't know what's going on here. So I go rolling into the dance floor, and it felt like everything just shut down. The music stopped, people stopped dancing, and they turned to stare at me like, what is this guy doing on the dance floor?
What?
And so I go rolling in there. I go a little bit further into the room. I go a little bit further than the exit where I could run away, because whenever we do something new, there's going to be pushback. There's going to be discomfort. It's kind of like, interlocking our fingers and then changing it to the other way. You're like, ooh, yucky, icky, this is gross. Some of the other principles that we've talked about in the past. There's always going to be pushback when the pressure is increased, when the unknown is shown. And I'm like, okay, this is the unknown. I don't know what's happening. And I go rolling in there and I start looking around, and I can't feel from the waist down. But I have a wheelchair. I have metal, and we've got some vibration going on. The music's blaring, the vibration is up there, and it's hitting my wheelchair. And I'm feeling things that I haven't felt before in a while. And I'm there. I'm at the dance. I'm kind of on the dance floor, but I'm just on the periphery. I'm on the sidelines. And then I remember my friend, somebody from behind, just pushed me and rolled me out into the middle of the dance floor. And I wanted to turn and run. Yeah, what were you about to say, Justin?
Well, I wanted to remind the audience that Jeff is almost a Picasso in a wheelchair. I mean, he's played Olympic basketball for the U.S. Special Olympics basketball team. He was a silver medalist. So if anybody could entertain you on the dance floor in a wheelchair, I would guess it would be Jeff Griffin. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No, I love that. And I'm glad you did, because what people don't realize and understand is I was paralyzed as an able-bodied person when I first went onto the dance floor. Here I am, a paralyzed person who's paralyzed going on to the dance floor in a new situation. But I realized that this possibility principle can help me be successful on the dance floor if I continue to persist in it. and I understood the pushback that was going to happen. I wanted to run. I know I said that, I say that, with my foot in my mouth, tongue in cheek, pun intended, but I couldn't run away. But I was going to roll away. I wanted to roll away, but I'm like, no, you know what? I've got to face my fears. I've got to face this pushback and just do it because, again, going back to, you know what? I didn't like to dance, but I loved the ladies, and the ladies were there. And so I get out there, and instead of going side to side with my feet, I just kind of went side to side with my body, had to let my shoulders start moving. You got some movements that you can start to do. And here I am, I'm just dancing from the waist up now. Then I'm able to do some wheelies, and I'm able to do some 360s. And by the end of the night, it was a fantastic experience, Justin. I'm just telling you right now, the very, very next song was a slow song. And so I'm like, okay, here's another unknown. What do you do? I didn't realize what kind of advantage I had, right? But the slow song, all of a sudden this girl comes and taps me on my shoulder. I'm not having to ask people anymore. They're coming to ask me. I turn around and this beautiful woman has asked me to dance. It's a slow song, and I'm not going to roll over her feet. And so I'm like, any suggestions on how to do this? And she's like, would you mind if I just sit on your lap? And I'm like, I don't mind at all.
Wow, what a gentleman.
And so she gets on my lap. She puts her arms around my neck, and so she's not having to do anything. Here I am. I'm just kind of rolling back and forth on my wheelchair, having a fantastic time, a completely different experience. And not to be gross or anything like that, but you know what? That whole night, I had a lap dance the whole night, right? One of those good, wholesome lap dance. But she's on my lap, and we are experiencing a wonderful experience. And I kind of exaggerate here, but not really. But there was a line the rest of the night lined up to with me, the guy in the wheelchair. And so all I'm saying is some of us are creating these stories in our heads of all the reasons why it could go wrong. But why can't we create these stories in our head on how it could go right? Because both faith and doubt are based in the unknown. And I had no idea what was going to happen that night. I had no idea that I was going to meet my wife at that dance that night. And we've been happily ever married for the last 20 plus years. And so get out on the dance floor of life and dance. Listen to the music that's in your soul. Orchestrate and conduct a song that sings in your soul. Know what you want. Finish what you start, and celebrate the process along the way. And I'm telling you right now, the P squared mindset that you'll develop with the possibility principle that you'll find in my book and the other steps along the way, I'm telling you right now, will help you expand your circle of certainty to where you'll be able to go out into the edges of darkness and discover new things that will lighten your life and others around you. And so, again, get on the dance floor and dance. I'm telling you, Justin, there's nothing like experiencing life when you're in motion instead of just on the sidelines.
Wow. I invite the audience, let's all put the possibility principle on our dance card. Well,
absolutely. In fact, again, just another reminder, the possibility. Get out there and see what you can do. The introduction of the dream weaving is in there. The possibility principle is in there. The steps along the way are introduced in there. And there's some other products as well that I'd love to just share with you guys. But again, I just want to begin at the very, very beginning. Do you know what you want? Do you finish what you start? Because I feel like 90% of most people, including myself, we don't finish what we start. So do you know what you want? Do you finish what you start? And do you celebrate the process? Do you celebrate the journey that you're on while you're getting out there and learning how to dance, listening to the music, and then of course picking your partners, and then just creating this world that is just beautiful to experience.
Wow. All right, Jeff. You've got to promise to come back.
If you drag me and if you have the right music, we'll be
Okay.
back. Absolutely.
Okay. This has been Justin Case and Jeff Griffin sharing a glimpse into getting out there and dancing. Thanks for joining us. Please remember, additional information and links are provided in this video's Read More, plus Jeff's special offers. And also, please support humanity everywhere and consider subscribing to this channel.